2016, yeah, 2016 Ford Transit, 130,000 miles. No crank, no start, lights on the dash, click coming from the starter area. Towed the vehicle in the shop with the plow truck. Starter's bad. It's full of just dripping with coolant coming out of it. Notice what's missing right here? Yep, the turbo. The turbo inside feed line, this line right here, the black line right there, it runs underneath that manifold and it goes through the side of the engine right here to a coolant feed. Where that turbo sits and how the AC compressor sits in here, you can't get that line out of there because that bolt right there is blocked. You gotta pull AC compressor and stuff out, pull turbo out of there, and then you can get this quick connect. It's a Jiffy disconnect tool you use to slide in there, disconnect that out. Now you see the turbo's not there either, and it's got a new drain line that also feeds up into this area. It's got a supply and drain. The drain goes back down there to the block. See that little, the ribbed accordion looking deal? It drains back to the block there. But the feed line is that little line that comes up here to the front. In front of that feed line is a filter that's part of a fitting. When I started adding all these lines, because that inside coolant line right there was leaking, I pulled that fitting out to check it. And I noticed how plugged up that fitting was, so I immediately checked the turbo after I seen that fitting. That turbo was being starved of oil. So when I started checking the turbo, I could put my hand in here and push on both sides. Let me set this down for, spin this around for a second. Listen. Let me see if I can grab a pair of pliers. Come on, cooperate with me here. Trying to keep my fingers out of the way. And then when you lock it in, so you can move it side to side. It's got a lot of axial play and radial play. Anyway, by some miracle, we had a new one in stock. No play at all. Nice and tight. Real nice rebuild, real nice reman. Whoever did this did a great job. No axial radial play. If there's any, it's just a teeny bit. Whoever did this, good job. It's got the new quick connect fitting. So how the turbo sits in there is it sits on that manifold like this, with these two pipes facing forward. And that coolant line that was leaking is this one right here. And it was pissing down this fitting, down on top of the starter, and it was filling the starter up. And this turbo has been acting up for a while. I don't know if it's been slowly coming to connection. The band clamp's been coming undone, but you can, here it is. You can see here how it's real nice and wet coming right out of this fitting. Straight down, right on top of the starter. It's filling the starter up with antifreeze. So there's another line that also has to get replaced. And it's this line right here. Goes to the back of the cylinder head, right underneath the intake manifold. And it also has these spring-loaded quick connect type fittings. So I may as well do that one while I'm there as well. They updated the manifold. You see this old design, how they had 4 studs real close and then that wide open gap with nothing there? They moved this hole here down further now. So what they did was the new manifold, they have you go here, 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 and here. There's like, and then these are spaced out better down here. Instead of it being 3 in a row, they actually have you add another one here. So there is spaces in the head for it. That design there was trash. You're just asking for leaks and problems. How it lasted as long as it did, I don't know. Some of the bolts were locked up in the head. 1 or 2 of them had to be extracted, but here you can see how it's spread out a little bit more. They got 1, 2, 3, and then there's one there. So they took the one that was right here and moved it down further. And then they added another one on the bottom right there. And then they spaced these 3 out. So it's got a better seal to it now. So yeah, I mean, this is it's came in for a no start and ended up almost $2,500 later. Manifold, turbo, all the lines, the starter. I mean, it's expensive. It's got 130,000 miles on it. They'll run it until it's done. You know, they'll run it. Yeah, I wanted to give you guys some input on this in case some of you guys have a 3.5 liter Ecoboost engine. You see coolant leaking from the inside line on the turbo, you may as well take it in. If you ain't capable of doing a big job like this, which takes a lot of time, 7 or 8 hours, you better just go ahead and take it in. Well, y'all be blessed. I'll show you what it looks like tomorrow when it's done.